Come have a seat. You know, I was talking to one of you guys yesterday, and she said, my friend said, my sister's smarter than me. One kid's smarter than the other. And I said, well, how do you measure that? And she says, well, that's what I was always told, right? But intelligence, there's all different kinds of intelligence. They say, there's actually a book, I read it, called Emotional Intelligence, that is a better measure of future success than academic intelligence. Because you know what? There's lots of stupid educated people, if you know what I mean. You know, and wisdom is knowing when you don't have to make dinner anymore, right? Wisdom is knowing that, right, tomato is a fruit, but it's not for a fruit salad, right? That is wisdom. That's the difference. So sit up tall, be open to what you're learning, be open to the lessons that come to you. Because if you don't listen to the universe when it taps you on the shoulder, it's going to come back and smack you in the head. All right. Close your eyes and come to your breath. Centering yourself for this practice. Taking good care of yourself, knowing when you need to have lighter weights or no weights. Maybe knowing when you need to take a break. That is the wisdom. Take 2 more big full breaths here. And slowly open your eyes. Cross your arms, notice which arm's in front, round your back, and then imagine you're pulling something really tight, up, 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 and then you're going to take your elbows and reach them back behind you as if they're moving through something really thick. And then take your opposite forearm in front, rounding your back, and then inhale all the way up and all the way back behind you. So there might be some, cracking in your back. We're going to start waking things up here. Elbows back. Oh, yeah. Last one like this. Inhale all the way up and elbows back. Now you're going to take your fingertips behind your head. Let's sit up tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your back and you're going to squeeze your elbows toward each other. They do not have to touch. And then you're going to inhale and open up. But you're going to scoop your heart forward and get a little bit of back bend. And then exhale, squeeze, round your back. Inhale, open. Notice the richness of these poses. So many movements, so many muscles. Take 2 more just like that. Moving with the breath. Exhale as you round your back. Inhale as you open your heart. Yeah, we want to get really ready before we do all that, right? Then take your right hand to the earth, left arm all the way over, keeping the left hip grounded. Inhale back to center and all the way to your left, keeping your right hip grounded. Inhale back to center. Exhale, maybe you'll bend your elbow. And inhale to center. And exhale over. And inhale to center. Good. And just take a few more. Really committed to every move, every breath. Commit yourself. Be here. Learn the lesson, right? Let's take 1 more, right and left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center, all the way nice and tall. Now you're going to twist to your right, take your left elbow, left hand to your right knee. And then inhale back to center and all the way over to your left. Good. Take 1 more on each side. Again, notice what it feels like to exhale into it, a full commitment. And then inhale and exhale. Oh, yeah. And back to center. and right into table pose, hands and knees. So cats and cows give a flexibility to your spine that you want to remind your body of every day, because we don't want to get our spines stuck. We're as healthy as our digestion, and we're as healthy as our spine. If you don't believe me, ask the Indians, right? Exhale and inhale. Now I want you to come onto your tiptoes and see if you can lift your knees and take your hips back. So what we're doing is drawing the belly back and the hips back and into the hip flexors. And we're going to do something called water wheel. So you're going to roll your sit bones up, come onto your tiptoes, round your back so you're looking at your belly. And then as you come toward plank, you're going to lengthen your spine. Your head is going to reach forward first. And then you're going to soften your knees and go back to where you started. So it's like a wheel of motion. Inhale and exhale back. Again, when you go slow and mindful, that's when we can learn if we've done something again and again. My teacher says life is recursive. It's ladder, rinse, repeat. But if we change one thing, everything changes. So take one more just like that. Okay, and back to table. Extend your right leg all the way out to the right. Just want to get into this. And just take your hips back. I like to come to the tiptoes of my left foot, getting a nice stretch in the hips and the hip flexors. Noticing your breath. Make your way back to center and extend your right leg in front of you, flexing the front right ankle, taking the right outer hip back. Get into those hammies that get so tight. And then step into your right foot, take your right shin forward, lift your heart. And then back, inhale. And then exhale, find your way. I like to inhale this way actually. And exhale back. Make sure you feel it in the back of your shin, into your hips, the back of your right leg. That's where the hammies are. Those tight hammies. Inhale. And exhale. I even feel my hips kind of rearranging themselves. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now step into your right foot and then open up your heart. Good. Lean back, lean back. Again, every breath we're really paying attention to. 2 times, just 2 times. You're going to take your right hand to the earth, bend your elbows, getting deep into your hips. Inhale, open it up. We don't have a lot of time, but we still have to warm up. You know what? I want to take 2 more here because I'm feeling it here. Just 2 more, guys. Inhale, move it. Mindful, exhale into it. Like a lovely dance. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Make your way into a lunge, lifting your back, left knee up off the earth. You might want blocks. If you usually use blocks, you should always have your blocks prepared for your practice, okay? Yeah. Then step your left foot halfway forward and wide. And see if you can lengthen both legs longish. So you want some softness in your knees. Press your feet down to come all the way up. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers to lift your heart, and with the right outer hip back, you're going to start to dip forward. Dip, dip, dip. Softening your knees. Get another huge stretch here. Good. Take your hands to the earth. Stepping into your right foot, lift your left leg all the way up. Nice. And then step your left foot beside your right forward fold. Nice stretch here again in your low back. Press your feet down to circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together to your heart center. We're going to begin with our feet wide and coming into, this is going to be the movement from the bottom. I want to get right into our upper back. I really like this. You can use any weight you like. I go towards the lighter. I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to try my mediate though, but even lighter is good. Reach over to your left because you have the weight in your right hand. And then you're going to come all the way up with your right elbow back and lift it. That's the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So this is for your upper back. If this feels really lousy, well, this shouldn't be, because if you lighten your weight or use no weight at all, this should be doable. Yeah. Come deep into that squat. So it's a sneaky glute. And you always have to have your belly engaged, right, guys? This is going to get your shoulders aligned so that when we do the other stuff, you'll be ready. And then there's last chance of injury too. Exhale, inhale. All right, let's count. 8, 7. Want to hear you breathing. 6. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. Oh, back to center. Notice how that feels. Right to the left. It should be no problem, right? Elbows up. Test it out. And then come back. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Ah, so good. Inhale and exhale. Good. And we'll start to count. And right. Okay, now inhale. 8, 7, 6, 5. Deep squat. Yeah, 4. See if you can keep the alignment. Don't get bored. Your mind's going to want to wander. Stay here with me. Last one. Oh, beautiful. And release, carefully release the weight and shake it out. Shake out your hips. All right. Right into biceps. So you can use a heavier weight for bicep, whatever that means for you. I'm going to try my heaviest because this is the first time out with biceps. I'm going to step into my right foot and I'm going to just do a curtsy today. Now, if you'd rather take your left foot back, that's also delicious and great for your right glute. Either way, keep the right hip back, get your footing. Then you're going to roll your outer arm bones back and shoulders down your back. And we're going to lift it up. And then take your weight, you're going to roll them towards your hips and then come into a curl. So you're going to get some movement here in a lateral kind of way, right along with the bicep. Good. Good. Whenever I curtsy, I think of the Queen. No, she's got some troubles these days. Okay. Yeah. And 8, we will be doing this again. 7, 6, that breathing is super important. 5, 4, 3, 2. So this is our first time out. Wherever you are, I'm going to stay low. Elbows at 90 degrees, and I'm just going to squeeze and squeeze. And 8, just topping it off. 7, 6, 4, 3. Woo. Last one. And release. All right, I'm going to invite you to release the weights and notice again how you're feeling. If you're holding anything in your hips, circling your hips, shaking it out. All right, we're going to get right back into our upper back. But this time, we're going to soften your knees, take your bum back. And what we're going to do is we're going to row. We're going to row 4 times. And then after the 4th, you're going to release your arms. You're going to bend forward and then come up into a deadlift. So that gets into our glutes and our core, because one of you wants your core work. So again, I'm going to use heavier weights. I think I can, like that little engine, right? All right, guys, a little bit into Utkatasana. Your shins are forward, your bum is back. None of this. Good. And we're going to row 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to release, fold forward, and come all the way up into a deadlift. Fold forward, soften your knees, and row. 2, good. 3, 4, and up, and back down, and soften, and 1, good. 3, do not round your upper back. I think this is 4, up, and back down. Soften your knees. 2, 3, we're going to do just one more time. And up, deadlift, soften your knees. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and deadlift, and into a deadlift, and release. Coming all the way back up. Make sure the shoulder blades are hugged toward each other and down your back. Take a nice full breath and release it. And then we're going to go right back into biceps again. This time you're going to step into your left foot. Now this is the second time you might want lighter weights. It's just as effective. It's very effective. Take your weights to your body. Step into your left foot. And remember what your footing was on the other side. I'm going to go right into that curtsy. Shoulder blades down my back. But this time I'm going to keep my palms forward. I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to come to a hammer curl out. Got it? And exhale. Slowly. The wisdom of every breath. How does it feel? Maybe you can smile. And 8, 7, 6, 5, cut with me, 4, 3, good, 2, last one, and out, 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 and release. Good. Once again, release your weights. Good. Inhale, circle your arms up, grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist and lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, fold forward. Get a nice forward fold here. Feel it in your low back. Getting a nice stretch. With your breath, inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, back to plank. All right. So now you know what your plank should be. Whether your knees are up or down, your belly is back, your heart is reaching forward, your gaze is forward. Take a breath here. Or 2. Really good for the core. Then I like like to lower my knees for the first one. Roll the thigh bones to the earth. But make sure your hands are beside your upper ribs and lift your heart, lift your chest. Oh, cobra. And right into a down dog. And walk your dog. Oh, yeah. You know what I like to do too is tiptoes and heels. Tiptoes and heels. Tiptoes, heels, tiptoes. And then lower your knees back to the earth. Extend your left leg directly out to the left. And reach your inner thigh bones back like you're sitting back onto your right heel. Get a big stretch. Just get that stretch there. I like to come onto my tiptoes. My right foot has this new trick. The muscles get all tight. So just take a breath here. Notice the inhale and the exhale. Good. Then make your way back to center. Extending your left leg forward, flexing the front left ankle, keeping the left outer hip back. Good. And then bend your left knee, reach your heart up, get a nice deep stretch in the hips. And then inhale back, right into the back of the left leg. Stay here, notice it. Inhale, there's no rush. And then come back. Inhale. Oh, yeah, so good. Notice how when I take my hip back, I flex the left ankle. It's going to get right into that back of your shin. We're just going to take a few more here without rushing. I think about how I used to rush all the time. Now I have the wisdom not to. All right, step into your left foot and lift your left arm up, come into a nice deep twist, rolling the right ribs to the left, lean back. Take a huge breath. And then take your left hand to the earth inside your left foot and bend your elbows. Okay? And then inhale up. And exhale down. And inhale up. Oh, yeah. And exhale. Just one more. You probably don't feel it so much now. But see if you can really feel that edge as you put your elbows toward or onto the floor. And then make your way to center, taking your hands to the earth, lifting the back right knee. Step your right foot halfway forward and out to the right. Stepping your feet down, lift your belly and come all the way up. That's the inhale. Exhale your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, and you're going to start to dip forward. Make sure your knees are softish. I don't want any hyperextended knees, and if you're not sure, soften your knees, okay? Yeah, release your head, get a big stretch in your shoulders, your arms, and release. Step into your left foot. Take your right foot beside your left, forward fold. Oh, yeah. And then inhale all the way back up and bring your palms together to your heart center. And we're going to start back in the center again. Shins forward, bum back. No, we're doing it this way. All right, so I want to do a few where you're tipping the top of your pelvis forward and your knees are soft. But that might be hard for your low back. If it is, you're going to come back to Utkatasana with your hips back. You choose, okay? I'm going to get kind of heavier weights, and we're simply going to row. We're going to row right into our upper back, okay? So with your knees soft and the top of the pelvis tip forward, shoulder blades hug back together. You're simply going to row, and row. So if you're in Utkatasana, you still have gravity to resist, but you want to exhale. Yeah, gravity is not always our friend. Yeah, my baby brother had a little bike spill. And darn if gravity didn't affect it. Okay. Okay, and 8, 7, 6, 5. So this gets into your core too. 4, 3, 2, last one. Take your weights to your body. Soften your knees to come all the way up. You can even just swing carefully. Yeah, notice how nice and tall you're standing. All right, I'm releasing those weights, and I'm going to get slightly lighter weights for my last set of biceps, guys. Find your last set of biceps with whatever weights you want to do. Once again, I'm standing on my right foot. Let's try this. You have to look at something that's not moving, or just come onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Roll your outer arm bones, and you're going to lift your left knee. Yeah. But you have to look at something that's not moving. So not only does this get into your left flexor and your right glute and your core, but this is also for your brain. Yeah. And tap and lift. If there's a softness in your right knee, that'll give you some steadiness. The shoulder blades hugging back are going to be quite useful because that'll keep you nice and long. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we're going to stay standing and do 8 half. 8, slowly. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, last one. Oh, that was good. I hope that was good for you. Yeah. So I really want you to circle your hips here because you get into that right glute, that right outer hip. You can even come onto your tiptoes. It helps get all that stuff out of there. All right. Back to shoulders, guys. And upper back. Okay. Once again, we're going to come in the middle here. We're going to soften our knees. This is the last one. And the last for those upper backs. So we can do 4 and then deadlift. If you don't want to do the deadlift, you can do it however you want. You can do it from Utkatasana, or you can do it from halfway forward fold. Okay? Shoulder blades always stay back, never round your back. So let's do our last set. I think I'm going to do the row with the deadlift, guys. So, softening my knees, I'm going to reach my arms forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Release, forward fold, deadlift, come all the way up. Come halfway forward, and 1. Breathe it. 4, release, up, back, and reach it slightly forward. Think of your upper back. Up to forward fold, up, deadlift. And we're going to do it 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way up. And last one. 1, 2. Notice how that affects your core. So good. And last one. And up. And release. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna stand on your left foot and lift your right knee. But we're gonna take some weights with us, and we'll do it with shoulders, okay? So with this kind of thing, a lever, you know, lightweight, light or zero weight, you choose. I'm gonna do my lightest. I'm gonna step on my left foot. Yeah, I have a book like that. I'm gonna open, okay, ready? And lift. You have to look at something that's not moving. This gets right into your shoulders, not to mention your left glute. Belly's got to be engaged. You notice one side is easier to balance than the other. And 8, 7, 6, make sure you don't shrug your shoulders. 5, 4, yeah, 3, 2, last one, and see if you can just balance. Now, if this is too much already, you can always bend your elbows and take your elbows up. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. And release. Okay. All right, now we're going to go right into Utkatasana, shins forward, bum back. Now we're going to get into our glutes a bit too. Take your arms, palms up behind you. Come onto the tiptoes of your right foot. I'm going to stretch this all out on the right. Come back to your breath. And then to the left. Palms, kind of, I'm going to start working on tries pretty soon. Come on to your tiptoes of both feet. See if you can release a little deeper. Because when you're in your tiptoes, it releases your hip. Then circle your arms up, inhale. Find a twist here. Take your left hip back. Oh yeah, open it, open it, open. You're using all that, this moment to learn, right? And then inhale back to center and over to your left, keeping your right hip back. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Yum. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. Good. And either come onto your belly or just make it into a cobra or up dog. And now we're going to make our way into a child pose. You can take your knees wide, your big toes together. And let's just make sure, just check in with your knees and your hips. See where you are. Close your eyes. Check in with your breath. You can extend your arms out and wide, lifting your armpits and softening your chest and your forehead towards the earth. Good. And then make your way back to table and into down dog. Make sure the shoulder blades are hugged together. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. You can bend your right knee and open the right hip. That feels good. Then extend your right leg back. Exhale and step your right foot forward. Have your weights nearby. I'm going to use my moderate weights. So I want you to get your footing first. So see if you can come into that crescent warrior. Yeah. Crescent warrior. You're going to dip forward, drag the belly back. We're going to take our elbows back and we're going to get right into triceps here. Now, it might get tiring in the right quad, so you can always extend your right leg as you come back. All right, so you choose your weights. Make sure you lift them carefully. Shoulder blades down your back. Dip forward and reach. Reach. Yeah. Now you can even flip your palms up at the end of the pose, at the end of the exercise. And if you don't bring your weights too far forward, that will also keep tension in the triceps. So I'm gonna straighten my front leg and bend. And that's gonna get into the right glute also. Good. And 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. 2. Last 1. And release those weights. And make your way all the way up into warrior 2. Right toes out, directly out, right thigh bone back. And stay deep in that hip. And then straighten. Let's just get into that. Deep in. So the right thigh bone wants to reach back behind you, and so does your left shoulder. Can you feel that? Okay, so now we're going to do a tricep here. And you might want a lighter weight. We're just going to take the tricep, the weight in your left hand. So this is also in your shoulder. My left elbow is wide. And you're going to extend it out. And in and out. So this is going to affect your shoulder too. But right into that tricep. It kind of feels like a break, but it's not, right? This is also very good for your hips. Are you breathing it? Can you do it slowly without letting your mind say, oh, I don't want to do this? Not do that. Yeah. Do you feel like your triceps are stronger now than they were before we started? And before we started using weights? Okay, 8, 7, 6, oh yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2. That last one, just when you think so easy, all the way up and release. Okay. Now you're going to bend both your knees, take your bum back and dip over to the right. Let's get a nice triangle pose here, keeping the right waist lifted. Oh yeah. And just get into that triangle. Nice. You inhale out of it, you exhale into it. Good. Take the back of your head back. Right waist lifted. Exhale your left hand to the earth. Make your way into a lunge and lower your back left knee way behind your left hip. Press your left knee down, isometrically slide it forward. As if your left knee is stuck and you want to press it forward. And then you bend your left knee, and that's all you got to do. You're going to get into that quad. If you want to take your right hand back and grab it, you can. If you have your blocks nearby, you can put your block under your left hand, but make sure your left heel stays on the left side of your body. And I know we've done this earlier in the week, but quads get so tight. I want you to learn to feel what it feels like. What's your breath like here? Oh yeah. And slowly release. Make your way right back into your down dog. Yeah. And give her a walk. Yeah, this is not easy, I know. Inhale, lift your left leg, bend your left knee, open your left hip. Good. Extend your left leg back. And then step right into your left, making your way into that lunge. So we're going to do our triceps once again. I didn't bring my weights with me when I moved. That was not cool. Okay. So I want you to come into that crescent warrior. I want you to feel it first. Get nice and connected. And once you have that, you can take your weights. This is our last tricep bilaterally. We're going to do the right yet. We're going to lean forward, elbows back, and kick back. Now, again, when you kick it back, if you want to lengthen your front left leg, feel free to do so, but see if you can do it without hyperextending that knee. Notice how I flip the palms up at the back of the pose, at the back of the exercise. Inhale and exhale. Triceps are such a thin muscle that we want to be sure we get into those babies. Good. Slowly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then take it to your body. Make your way into warrior 2. I want to release both weights just so I get my feet nice and steady. Left toes out, left thigh bone out, and the right shoulder back. You can even move your ribs, your left ribs forward. Got that? All right, now we're going to do the tricep on the right. So I'm going to take, I hope this was the weight I used last time, only in my right hand. Right elbow is wide, and you're going to lift it up. And come back into warrior 2. Keep the left ribs forward. Good. Slowly. This is how we really learn, right? Now, if this feels lousy on your shoulders, you can do the kickback on the right. You can do a French press with your elbow forward. Good. And 8, slowly. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All the way up. Carefully, carefully release that weight, very carefully. Soften your knees and take your bum back as you make your way to a triangle on the left. And notice where you feel some stiffness, if you feel any stiffness anymore. The left waist is lifted. My hand is on your left waist. And you lean back. Good. Legs nice and long. Yeah. Nice stretch in your back. Your left hip. Good. And then exhale your right hand to the earth. Come through your lunge and lower your right knee way back behind you. So we're going to get into that quad stretch on the right. All you have to do is press your right knee down and imagine it's stuck and try to pull it forward. And you're right in your right quad. You should feel a nice musculature in your right leg. I mean, you can see my muscles are already toned. You can bend your right knee. You can take your right hand to a block. You can take your left hand behind you, making sure your right foot stays aiming toward the right sit bone. Press your foot back, reach your heart up to find your edgiest space here. And just take a few breaths here. So good. And so you're going to lift your right knee up, pivot your feet towards the side of your mat, nice and long, and come into a nice wide stance with all your toes forward. Good. Then come halfway up. Take your hands to your hips. Imagine, again, your belly's lifting up to your kidneys. You're reaching your heart forward. Your knees are soft. Then pressing your feet down, come all the way up. And I want to do one more thing here for our shoulders. So I think we're going to do it this way. I love this. We're going to just one more thing for our shoulders before we come on to our back. Okay, guys? So you decide how much weight you need here. Your upper back's already toned. Your biceps and triceps are cooked. You might be able to use a little heavier weight because we're not working against gravity here, really. I guess kind of we are, but not too much. Ready? And zip it up and widen it. Zip it up. Good. Zip it up. And more than. A little lower, you might be able to because we did all those warriors. 8, 7, 6, slow, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, last one. That was good. All right, you're going to want your heavier weights close to your mat, and you're going to come into your yoga squat, whatever it looks like. So your forearms might be on your thighs. You might be sitting in a chair, you know, or you might come all the way down. You decide. Take a few big full breaths here. Yeah. And come to seated. All right. We're going to need our heavier weights, but first I just want to draw our knees towards our chest, round your back. Give yourself a hug. And even tip the top of the pelvis back and come up and tip it back. I want you to feel what it feels like to really tip it back and have the engagement of the core. You can take your hands behind you. You can extend your arms in front of you. Just feel that. So good. So I want the top of the pelvis back. But first you're going to take some heavier, heavy weights, heaviest weights. We're going to do chest, but we're not going to do flies. We're going to do chest press. So that's different. Take the top of the pelvis back, roll all the way onto the earth, and notice how the top of your pelvis drawing back is a flatness in your low back, and you want to honor that. That's going to also engage your belly. And this is simply for your chest. You're going to take your palms facing toward each other and simply lift and lower. This is for the first one. Simply lift and lower. Press it up, squeeze the pecs, inhale, down. So you bend your elbows. You can widen them a bit. I want to hear your breathing. And notice how when your mind goes somewhere else, you start doing it mindless and fast. You can actually feel gravity pulling it down, resisting you up. This is what we want. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, slowly 2, last one. And take it all the way down. Now roll to your one side or the other to release the weights. You have to really roll over to release the weights. And then you're going to come back to your back. I want you to widen your feet just a bit and keep your knees together. And you're going to start to lift
and lower your hips. So this is going to get into the medius and the maximus. So you're going to press the knees together and squeeze. And you're not going to exactly land. Just going to breathe into it, feel the sensations. Notice where you feel it in your body. Keep your tailbone reaching forward. Good. And 8, 7. Keep that belly, this also for the core. 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, guys, we're going to do one more thing for your chest. So I'm going to take my knees to my chest and just kind of roll my knees away from each other, no hurry. Take a few big breaths as I roll back and forth, back to seated. So now we're going to do chest flies. You're going to need lighter weight, maybe a lot lighter weight, maybe no weight at all. And I'd rather you err on the side of caution. So if you think 5s are good, try 3s, okay? And then if you wanted something else, you can get up and get lighter weights, okay? So take those weights while you're seated, tip the top of the pelvis back, engaging the core, and then roll all the way onto the earth. This time you're going to take your weights, and we're going to add the hip thrust too, the hip lift. So I want you to get the feeling, with the inhale, open, the exhale, squeezing the pecs. But as you do this, you're going to lift your hips. Good. I'm going to walk my feet back. So now your feet are parallel. Your thigh bones are parallel. Good. And squeeze those pecs. Open them. Now, if you need a different amount of weight, if I scared you into something too light, that's fine. You can stop and get heavier weights. You know to roll over with your weights. You don't get up with the weights. And we will wait for you. And we're going to start to count, hoping that you're back. And 8, squeeze the pecs, squeeze your glutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, oh yeah, 3, 2, yes, 1, lift it, lift it, lift it, and then slowly lower all the way back down, taking the weights to your body, rolling to one side or the other. Please remove your weights far from your body. Yeah. I'm just going to scoot down so I can see you. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, rolling your right ankle, extend your left leg long. Let's do that. And then we're going to change sides. Take your left knee in towards you, roll. Okay, draw your knees towards your chest. Take those hip circles. So now we're going to release the hips here. And then you're going to roll back and forth all the way up to seated and extend your legs nice and long. Make sure you know where your weights are in relation to your toes. That's always been a thing, right? Okay, now sit nice and tall. Extend your right arm up and you're going to grab your left foot. If you can't get to your left foot, that's fine. You're going to grab the outer edge of your left ankle or your left shin. Wherever you are, you're going to reach your left toes forward like you're pressing a gas pedal. You're going to get a huge stretch in your right shoulder. So this is not about the forward fold. This is about stretching out your right shoulder. And just release your head and breathe into it. Take one more big breath here. Come all the way up. Oh, I hope you felt that stretch. I can feel that. Okay, now we're going to do it on the other side. Left hand, wherever your left hand goes. So if you feel like it's too much to grab your left foot, you take your left hand outside your left shin. And then wherever you're at, as you press your right toes forward, you're going to get a huge stretch in your left shoulder, and you're going to release your head and just get a nice stretch here. So yummy. Take some big breaths. You'll be glad you did. And all the way back up. I want you to take your right hand under your right thumb and take your left ear towards your left shoulder and get a nice stretch in the whole left side of your neck, the right side of your right neck. Yeah, take the right hand to the earth and get a big stretch here. Big breath. We're going to do this on Friday with bands. It's really fun with the bands. The bands are in honor of our Julie, because she's a band girl. And come all the way up to center. Oh, yeah. Notice how that feels. Now you're going to set up your left hand. Yeah. And then take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Try not to dip forward so you can really get it nice and sideways. The more you take your left hand, the heel of your left hand to the earth, the more you'll get resistance to stretch your whole left shoulder, the left side of your neck. This is my way of making sure you didn't do anything like shrug your shoulders. You shouldn't have. Yeah. All the way up. Draw your knees to your chest once again, rounding your back. And come all the way, one vertebra at a time, all the way to the earth. So the top of the pelvis is already back. Take your arms to T, lift your knees, and simply drop your knees to the left, getting a huge stretch here. Rolling your ribs to the right. Take a big full breath. Lower your chin towards your chest. Then come back through center. I like to slide my bum to the left just a little. Lift your knees and drop your knees to the right. That gets a nice perpendicular spine for this big twist. Now that you did all these kind things for your body, come back to center and prepare for Shavasana as you take your palms together, walk your shoulder blades together. I like to shake my bum and just reach my tailbone toward my heels. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And allow yourself just a few minutes, I promise it's just 2 minutes, to release any tension in your body, melting into the earth, and take rest.
Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to your right side. Just be there. Learning from every experience you have, growing wiser as we mature. And then make your way to a comfortable seat on your mat and bring your palms together at your heart center. Growing wiser is a gift we have when we get older if we're open to it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. We have to be open to it. And this practice should give you a leg up. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. All right, guys, let me turn off the recording.